Hey everyone, welcome back to the Live with Audacity podcast. I'm your host, Melissa Stewart, and you're listening to episode 23. Before we dive into the episode today, I wanted to take a quick minute and talk to you about the free 30-day challenge that is getting kicked off today, February 3rd. If you're not in yet, no worries, you are hearing this just in time. Over the next 30 days, we are going to have so much fun getting out of our comfort zone. Each day is going to have a very simple, fun task to get you start having fun every day, being silly, bonding with others that are doing the same fun and silly activities, and letting your beautiful, bold light shine in this world. I really hope you'll join me on this incredible adventure. It is truly going to be the best month of your whole life. We will share our experiences, what was freeing, what was easy breezy, what was a little out of your comfort zone, all the things. I promise you're going to have so much fun interacting with everyone and sharing in the silliness. If you're hearing this after February 3rd, still okay. I want you to still sign up. I will send you an undated calendar so you can jump in whatever day it is and still experience all the fun. To get your 30-day Live with Audacity challenge calendar for free, go to livewithaudacity.co. That's livewithaudacity.co. Okay, let's dive in to today's super fun episode with my friend and super cutie, Elizabeth Hambelton. She is so stinking adorable, and the girl has a major affinity for fur. Every woman needs a fur coat in their closet. Honey, if you're listening, add that to my birthday list. Today, I get to talk to Elizabeth about how to jazz up your closet when you're just feeling uninspired by your wardrobe, why it should be fun to get dressed every day, and how a great look can increase your self-confidence. You're listening to the Live with Audacity podcast. I'm your host, Melissa Stewart. Audacity is defined by Merriam-Webster as intrepid boldness or disregard for normal constraints. And that's exactly what we have here. The Live with Audacity podcast is aimed at giving you the courage to explore your someday dreams, do things your way, and start making things happen in your life right now. I'm a mama to 4 kiddos ranging from college student to kindergartner, wife to a high school football and track coach, and a multi-passionate entrepreneur. Together with my guests, we're going to teach you how to live with audacity and intentionality, discover and utilize your unique skills and talents, and step into who you are meant to be in order to make your someday dreams a reality. Are you ready? Here we go. Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning back into the Live with Audacity podcast. Today I have Miss Elizabeth Hambelton on, and she is the creator of Get Closet Confidence. I'm so excited to have her on here today because here's the deal. We all, especially now when lots of people are starting to work from home more often, not all of us, most of us, in fact, me and a group of friends in a group chat last night had this exact same conversation that we want to really start trying to make sure that we get up and put ourselves together in the morning so that we feel more confident throughout the day. So this is perfect timing to have Elizabeth on. Elizabeth, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here again, just because I told you before we got on the call that I plan on using this kind of selfishly today because I think that I especially would love to be able to use the things in my closet more efficiently and stop feeling like, oh, I got to go buy more things. So tell us a little bit about how Closet Confidence came about and how you got started.
Yeah, definitely. I worked for a little over 5 years as a personal stylist. And before that, I was in fine art. I worked at an art museum, so still visual, but I kind of made the leap to fashion and did that for 5 years. And in that time, I styled almost 10,000 different women because I worked for a national retailer that had a large customer base. And the thing I noticed is that no matter who the woman was, what size she wore, how much money she had to spend on clothes, what her climate was, her occupation, age, you name it, so many of us have the same essential problems and hiccups when it comes to getting dressed and doing it effortlessly and confidently. And I just felt like no one in the fashion space was really speaking to those more core issues. And I just really have a heart for helping women not buy more clothes, but feel better in the clothes they already have and add to their closet more strategically and just more confidently so they get a better result, right? Instead of just continuing the same pattern of you buy new clothes and you get that little bump for a while of feeling like, ooh, exciting, I have new things, but then quickly it fades and you just don't know what to do with them.
I love it. And I think one of the things that people struggle with right now, especially with being so visible on social media and Instagram and stories and things like that, that we get kind of overwhelmed with, well, people have already seen me in this outfit. So I need something new. I always need something new if I'm going to be showing up on social media. I am not typically that way or weird about that, but I know lots of other women really are. So, how do you help us deal with that? How do you help us not either not be afraid of it um or use the things in our closet to at least make them look different so we don't always look like we're wearing the same stuff?
Yeah, I definitely think probably the first step is letting go somewhat to that in some ways it's probably good that you have a somewhat consistent look because it becomes part of your brand that people see you in a recognizable way and you're not like all over the map. So I think some of it is definitely not bad. I understand the feeling of wanting to jazz it up, and I would say that accessories are really underutilized by the average person. That really most of us, whether we're present on social media or just you want to kind of streamline your own closet and make your life easier, that layering pieces and accessories are your best investments because you could take a t-shirt from Target and some jeans and I could style them 100 ways for you if you added in some accessories. The good thing too about accessories is the price point is usually lower. It's a lot cheaper to buy some earrings or a scarf to jazz up your plain black sweater than it is to keep buying whole new outfits. So
Agreed.
I definitely think that's a good place to start and a really accessible way to start because it's not super expensive and there's so many out there that you can kind of find something for any look.
I love it. I love it. So, man, I have so many questions. Okay, first off, what are some key pieces that we should probably have in our closet?
Well, it's funny you asked me that because I do have a checklist on my website. But right the week that this comes out, I'm actually launching a visual version of that because I've had a lot of people that liked the checklist as a concept, but they wanted help really putting it into practice. And I totally understand that because I think a capsule kind of idea, if people aren't familiar with a capsule, it's just the basic idea that you have a smaller wardrobe of more versatile pieces versus a lot of things in your closet. But that can feel so appealing, but it's hard to stick with that if you don't know how to really reinvent the pieces. So I'm coming up with a digital guide that shows you visual examples of what would be in sort of I call it a closet checklist. It's not even necessarily designed to be a capsule. It's designed to be the foundation of
Ooh, I
your
like that.
closet that you can build on over time and based on your own climate and personality. Like you and I are both in Texas, so we probably don't need more than one parka. But if you live in Anchorage, Alaska, I bet you have like 12 parkas because it's 60 in July there, which is like deep winter for us. So
Yeah, totally.
there is going to be customization. And like I wear a lot of dresses, but again, I live in Texas. It's warm enough that layering them is not that hard for me. I'm not trying to put tights and boots and a cardigan and a jacket and a hat. It's not that complicated, right? Because it's warm here a lot. So there
Right.
is that level of customization, but the good thing is it's also designed like a fashion magazine because I just want it to feel really fun and pretty and not just like, oh my gosh, this is work, right? Like we just need to bring more joy back to getting dressed because we do it every day. It's a part of our life. It doesn't need to feel like a burden. Just try to have like I think people just could have more fun with it and know that it's just a creative process that see it as something that could be fun. And so the guide helps you, it teaches you strategies on mixing and matching and what to add. And it has things like you could add either patterned shorts or a midi skirt based on your personality. Some people hate shorts. So obviously that'd be a bad idea for them. But it kind of shows you, gives you ideas of I could use this or this in the same type of situation to try to help you find what really feels authentic to you instead of a strict capsule. Like we all need a white, black, gray. Because I don't stick with those kind of more minimalist colors myself. I like a more colorful look. So
Mm-hmm.
it's
Okay.
definitely it's more personalized.
Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Very cool. Okay, so yeah, totally feel like getting dressed in the morning is kind of like trying to figure out what I'm gonna make for dinner. Like, holy cow, I'm so over trying to put things together that look great. Um, so what do you think is like our number one mistake when we're trying to get dressed in the morning or put together a cute outfit for the day? Like, what do you think is the one thing that, and I'm sure there are lots of different things, but what do you think is one big thing that can kind of shift our focus when we get dressed in the morning to make it a little bit more fun and exciting?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there are so many things. But I would say that a lot of times, if you don't kind of connect with it, with the process or with your clothes, it could be a little bit of a mindset issue. And that's kind of one thing. It could also be that you're just not wearing something that you connect with. And I think I get this question sometimes that people say, oh, I'd like to have style, but I don't think I've ever had it, or B, like I don't know if I have it. Like question mark. How would I? Do I know? If I don't know, do I not? Like I don't even know. Right. So one way I think that anyone can do to kind of get a very starting feel for what you like, is to look in your dirty clothes. What pieces from your
I
current
like
closet?
that you didn't say look in your closet and
No, because it's like
instead say look in your dirty clothes because those are the things you're actually wearing.
exactly. Those are the things you've actually pulled out in the last week, and they fit your body, they fit your climate, they fit your lifestyle. It's what you're actually wearing. So if
Love
you
that.
dump your hamper out on your ground and look, like, is it all neutrals? Is it all jeans? Is it all dresses? Is it all patterns? Like, what are you actually pulling out of your closet? So that is a clue to your authentic style because it's going to be different for everyone. And then
Okay.
it's kind of tuning in to what you really feel good in versus the expectation of what you should be wearing and then going from there.
I like that a lot. Okay, so if I'm wearing jeggings and maybe not like regular t-shirts, but like fashion t-shirts or graphic tees or something cute to go with the jeggings. How can I
Mhm.
dress that up, or how can I make that a little more? How can I give that some zhuzh, some oomph for the day, where I'm still feeling really confident, but I'm also feeling really relaxed? Because that's my thing. I want to be comfortable, but I also don't want to feel like I am a yeti walking out of the forest feeling like
Right.
I'm just, a homeless person.
Right. Yeah. I have something I call the rule of thirds, and I think that would apply here. So if you take a basic outfit that's like one or two pieces, like jeans and a t-shirt, if you just add a third piece, you'll be amazed at how much more styled it looks. So if you have a graphic tee and jeans on, or jeggings, if you add like a blazer, you instantly look, depending on the blazer, a little bit more edgy, or like a little bit more kind of preppy J. Crew-ish. Or you could add a floral kimono, or you could add a cute like bandana scarf from a place like Madewell, and you look a little bit more kind of modern hipster. Just
Ooh,
adding
I
like a
like that.
third piece could help you. It really takes the the feeling of like this is a style versus just like these are clothes. Um,
Right.
Easily and very accessibly, it takes you up a notch, and it shows you how much more ground you can cover with the basic pieces you already own.
Okay, yes, I like that. I like that a lot. That's very, very helpful. Okay, how important are our shoes for our outfit?
It's funny. I think shoes are important. I work from home largely too, so I'm never wearing shoes, ironically. But I think a shoe is a really good place to add personality in a way that, again, you can suit it to your lifestyle. Also, statistically, women get the most enjoyment out of buying shoes over every other article of clothing or accessory, interestingly.
So interesting. I feel like
I don't know
this
why
seems kind of
exactly,
creepy.
but
Yeah, I think for me,
statistically,
probably jackets. Like, I get more joy out of a cute jacket that, like you said, can go with different things than
mhm.
I do shoes. But I think you're right. I think most of the time people, or women specifically, actually, I'm not even gonna say women specifically, because my husband has more shoes than me, and in fact, yesterday he told me, when I was growing up, I always thought, "When I'm an adult, I'm gonna buy all the shoes that I want, and no one's gonna hold me back from that."
It's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he loves shoes just as much as, the next girl.
No, for sure. And they make a big difference in menswear too, because a lot of men wear really similar stuff. So a shoe is a good place to add some personality. And I would say the thing is, a shoe is a good place to add personality. Again, you can get, I do encourage people to have like one or two interesting but versatile shoes, like a leopard print flat, or like a colored tennis shoe or something like that. It's something, it's not like a heel that you maybe wouldn't really actually wear, but something that you would wear day to day, but it instantly, and see, that's another thing. Like I do wear graphic tees and jeans as well, and I have this pair of black loafers with some kind of like silver studding on them, and
Cute.
the jeans and tee just instantly look more hip with a loafer that's studded versus just like a plain black slide sandal or something. It
Yes.
can really be that thing that adds that little bump of personality if you want to try to spice up your wardrobe.
Cool. Yes, I love everything that you're saying. Um, and I can't wait to take your style quiz actually and see. I mean, we all know, I think, what my style is. Probably it's relaxed, something or other. um, but so I want to know a little bit more about w- why this is so important to you and how you decided, like, this is what I can do to serve others. So tell me a little bit about what is one thing you wish you would have had the courage to do sooner in your business or just life and getting to this point?
Yeah, that's a great question. Probably, I feel like I could have started my business sooner. Like, I felt that urging to leave the more corporate structure and um, launch my own thing, but I kind of held out for a while because I wasn't feeling confident about how to really make that happen. And I think
What
the thing,
was it that held you back specifically?
I think just concern of how do I do it in terms of the logistics of like, well, what if I think it's a good idea, but nobody else does, or
Right, yeah,
and just sort of the logistics of business ownership and like how do I get my message out and how do I like find people too. I think there's just so much noise these days that people are pretty busy. It's just sometimes it's hard to get
to
on
break
their
through.
radar, you know?
Yes, I totally agree with that.
I think too, people hear personal styling and they think of a more traditional stylist, and I'm trying to do something new and a little bit different and focus on more the education of fashion and teaching people how to feel better and use their own wardrobe and shop for themselves versus selling them actual clothing, specific clothing. So sometimes people hear personal styling and they kind of assume it's one thing, and I have to try to work to educate them on how this is different.
Right. And one of the things that am noticing is that I think you have a very similar message to me. And my message is you were made unique and perfect, and you have so much to offer, and you have a unique purpose in this world. But those unique characteristics and qualities that you have were made to help you be that person. And I think that. Um, that you're incorporating that message too is that you don't have to look like everybody else. You can do what you like and do what you do and wear what you want to wear. And you can add some pieces to zhuzh it up and make it a little more presentable so that you feel more confident when you step out into the world. And I think that's such a um, valuable message that you are trying to get across.
Yeah, I do think that one of the things that sets me apart from maybe like quote unquote normal stylists is that I very consciously take an additive approach rather than a restrictive approach. So, what I mean by that is, I'm not going to tell you you can't wear pastels because you're pale, or you can't wear, I don't know, whatever, large prints if you are busty, or you can't do this, or you can't do that, or you have to define your waistline every day. Because I think so
Right.
many people, they hear these rules or they see them in magazines and they think, oh, I have to be doing this, I have to do this. And then they feel, I think that's part of what takes the creativity and joy out of it is that they feel restricted into this kind of little box, but it doesn't make sense and it doesn't feel accessible. Instead of doing that, and I also am not into like hiding things. Like if you are like, I want to hide my midsection, I'd say that's not a good foundation for an outfit. Instead of telling me what you want to hide, tell me what you want to highlight.
Ooh, I like
You
that.
may
I
not
like
want
that a lot.
midsection, but like, what do you want to highlight? Like, let's come from a place of positivity. Like, do you like your eyes? Let's choose a top that's going to highlight the color of your eyes, right? And adding new ways to see yourself and the world and the possibilities out there, because I find that most of the rules aren't valid. There's always a workaround. It's just kind of experimenting with what works for you and what
Yes.
really works for your lifestyle. And that if you come from a place of positivity when you get dressed, instead of trying to hide things, you're just going to feel so much better about the result.
Isn't that so funny? Our beauty magazines are always trying to tell us, here's how you hide your belly, here's how you hide your booty, here's how you hide your big breasts, or, here's how you accentuate your tiny breasts or whatever. And really drives home the message that you're not okay the way that you are. And so it just delights my whole soul that you really want to highlight the things that people love about themselves, so that they pay more attention to that and um, really feel confident about those things, um, and not forget about the things that they don't like, but when they can focus more on the things that they do love about themselves, I think it is very helpful and can help them to start to learn to love the things that maybe they didn't love so much before. I just think that's so great.
Right. You know, Dove, the like, soap and
Yep.
skincare company, they
Yes.
did a survey, and globally, are you ready to be shocked? Only 4% of women would categorize or self describe themselves as beautiful.
And that's
4%.
mind blowing, right?
It's horrible. But I think that's because if I say, describe your body to me, the average woman leads with, well, like, I'm an okay size, I guess, but like my arms have always been kind of this or that, or chunky or flabby, and I've had 2 C-sections, so my stomach isn't what it used to be. Like, what is that about? No one's stomach is what it used to be. Like,
Amen, girl.
like I have had 2 C-sections, and it's fine. Like, it's just that was a
It's
more
just the
important,
stomach.
right? And like
We all
what I
have
did with
one.
that stomach is what it was meant to do. That's what the stomach was there for. Like,
Yeah. No, I love
so
that so much, and I think I just man, I love that message that you're like, it's cool, man, like, you are beautiful just the way that you are. That's my favorite thing to hear. Okay, so tell me a little bit about how someone could change their closet from what not from what they have right now, but like is there anything simple that they could add, or um could they just add some really beautiful earrings, or like how do they start? How should they like what's the first step that they should do when they go look in their closet about how they want to start changing their vibe?
yeah, I actually think that the best place to start, even though I know some people don't love this process, is actually with cleaning out. It sounds counterintuitive, but sometimes having fewer items in your closet gives you more versatility. And that's actually because you've weeded out the things that are causing confusion or negative feelings, and you're down to what really works and what really fits, and you can just see it more clearly. I do encourage people, I work with a lot of moms, and especially younger moms who are kind of going through the child having slash recovering from phases. Your body changes a lot, and that can have a really emotional side to it as well. I would encourage you, if you feel done with kids and you are not the same size as you used to be, and it's been a little while, like myself, my youngest is 3. We think we're done with kids. So like, I don't think that I'm a person who's really served by hanging on to anything I can't zip anymore. I
I love
think that
that.
so many of us have things in our closet that have this kind of heavy emotional connotation. Like, oh, I should have been able to get back to being a size 4 for
Or
whatever reason.
maybe I will one day.
Right. And
And
it
then it
feels like
just,
a failure to see it
right.
and to remind yourself, oh, I'm not that size. Or I think it's not only about size. I think, people who've been through divorces, if you have, a dress that your ex gave to you for your birthday and it makes you sad, or, something that you remember wearing at a time when you were happy together, but now that relationship's gone. Or, I mean, there's various things, maternity clothes you wore, but then that pregnancy ended in miscarriage and it just makes you
Oh,
very
yeah.
sad. I mean, there's a lot of different things that it can be a job where you were unsuccessful or had stress or things that just remind you of negative whatever situations
Yes.
or events. I would encourage you to get rid of as much of as you can. And if you are in a place where your size changes a lot, that's fine. And if you don't feel ready to get rid of it, I would say at the least if you can kind of gather all those pieces together and either put them in a spare closet, like a coat closet, so you're not looking at them in the morning. That's one option. Or put them in, like a Rubbermaid type bin and put them like in your garage. So again, it's there if you feel like you need it or you want it or whatever. But like it's, not staring at you.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, if you don't have room or whatever for any of those, just put it at the very back of the closet. Put it all together and put it as far away from where you actually get dressed as possible, and just kind of improve the mental energy of your closet to where when you walk in and you're like, all right, I need to get dressed today, what you're looking at is things that fit
That
and
you
that
can
you
actually wear today.
right.
I
And
love
sometimes
that.
people, sorry, I was saying people aren't sure about what to do. One thing you can do too is you take, so your hanger, you put it on your rack one way. If you flip it to where it's kind of awkward and you have to like go reach behind to put it on, you flip everything in your closet and then you strategically wear things that are flipped. And then once you've worn something, you put it on the hanger the normal way. I hope that makes sense. You just turn the
Yes.
hanger around. And then that helps show you, and you
What
kind
you're
of
actually
challenge
wearing.
yourself. You challenge yourself to only wear off the hangers that are still reversed. And then when you've gone through all your favorites, you start to think, well, if you really want to cheat and wear off something you've already worn, why? Why? What do you like about that piece? What do you not like about these other pieces? And are they really serving you? Or would you do better to maybe get rid of some of them? Obviously, special occasion is a different deal. Like a dress you'd
Right.
wear to a wedding is something special because you may not have had a wedding in the last 2 months. But just for your everyday clothes that are in season, it'll be an easy way to test, what am I really reaching for? What do I enjoy? And it helps you visually see, oh man, I haven't worn any of these floral shirts. Maybe I don't like really busy floral patterns anymore. I've worn all of my solids or something like that.
Yeah. No, I love that too because I also feel like if we get rid of the stuff that we don't love, then we free up our closet to, you know, maybe grab a few things that we really do love again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like you said, we're not just staring at these things that we feel guilty that we bought and it still has tags and we, haven't worn or whatever. Like, get that out of there. Get that mind clutter gone so that you can really focus on wearing the things that you do love and feel confident in. Also, the other thing too that I'm glad you brought up is, um, getting rid of the stuff that no longer fits you or that you again don't love because I actually have this. taped right above my desk, and it says, I have an abundant mindset. I don't need to hang on to things for fear of not having it. Let it go. Because I find myself holding on to, a black pencil skirt because I think I'm going to wear that one day when I need it. But the truth is that I feel like a a black pencil skirt makes my butt look fat. So I'm probably not ever actually going to wear it, even if I do. So I need to just get it gone so that I can make room for either more stuff that I love or focus on the things that I already have that I love. So I'm really, really glad that you brought that up.
Yeah, and I think that's a great example too, because I think a lot of people would tell you, "Oh, a black pencil skirt, that's a basic." But if it doesn't serve you, it's not a basic for you. It might be a basic for someone who's a banker and wears suits every day, but that's not your lifestyle. So you just have to listen to you.
Yes, love that. Love that so much. Okay. So, tell me what has been the biggest risk and win in your business so far?
Ooh, the biggest risk. I think the biggest risk so far has been saying no to people who want me to do a much more restrictive or traditional version of personal styling for them. And they hear I'm doing it and they want a certain thing where they want me to push certain clothes to them, and they don't want to go through kind of the mental work of improving their closet. And I generally say I'm not maybe the best fit for that. There's lots of other people in Dallas who would be happy to sell you expensive clothes on a commission. But
Right? Yeah.
I think the reward is that I've just had so much really positive feedback that from women that I'm speaking to their heart in a way that a lot of people haven't, and they feel like I'm giving them the permission to really be authentic and to be themselves. And I had someone tag me this past Christmas in a Facebook post where she had a picture, and it was at a Christmas party with her family, and she had just had the normal kind of stuff, and at the bottom she was like, also, like, I'm loving this outfit. I got so many compliments. I feel so much more confident than I did at this party last year. And like, closet confidence was like totally what helped me. And this was just like on a random photo on her personal feed. So it's certainly nothing I told her to do. And I just feel like that's really meaningful. And that's kind of what I set out to do, is to really help women see their own beauty, know that style is in all of us. Everyone has a style. It's like saying you don't have a favorite food, or you don't have like a food preference or something. Like, everyone has
Yeah.
things they like and they don't like. And style is in there. It's in all of us. And some of us have just never been encouraged in that way or told that it's in there. And I just want to help people have the courage to feel their best and to really turn over a new leaf. And I think the average person who would be surprised at how much sort of taking care of yourself in this way can really improve your whole mindset on your day.
Yes, I love that. I totally agree. Man, I'm so glad I got to have you on to talk about this because I know I am definitely not the only one that struggles with putting the clothes on that I own and feeling confident. So I love that we're getting to have this talk. Tell me about a book, article, person, or talk that's changed your life.
Oh, I would totally say the book, The Slight Edge. I'm trying to remember the author, but it's actually very applicable to this business because the premise of the book, it's a kind of it's by Jeff Olson, that's right. And it's a book about how making small incremental changes in your life and small positive decisions has such a snowball effect, and that momentum is working for you or against you in every area of your life at all times. Like momentum is just out there, it's in the world, and you're either getting a little bit healthier each day as you know, eat good things and stay active, or you're getting a little less healthy and you're either getting a little bit more confident as you try new clothes and get positive feedback and feel better, or you're buying into the mental story that, oh, I'll never be stylish, or it's only for other people, or I can't do it, or I'm too, like, I'm not skinny enough, I'm too heavy, you know, things like that. You're either creating those positive cycles or negative cycles. And I think it's such an interesting book with so many different ways that you see that applied. Obviously, money is a place that you see it a lot in sort of compounding interest and stuff, but
For
it
sure.
really applies it to everything. And I just think that it's a powerful concept.
Love it. I love that so much. Truly, I wrote it down and it's going to be the next book that I read because I actually tell my family this a lot. Like any little tiny change that you can make can really spur on more changes. So I think that's so valuable to understand.
And kind of at the
Um,
beginning of the year, it's all about accessible change, right? That running a marathon tomorrow is not as helpful as running 1 mile every day for the rest of the year. You know, like you have to do things that you can really sustain.
Yes. Yes, I love that. Yes, sustainability is the key to any change that you're gonna make, because you can't just wake up one day and be like, well, most people can't wake up one day and be like, "I'm gonna eat plant-based today and
Right.
cut, meat out cold turkey," or whatever, but
Right.
making those sustainable changes and one at a time too, man, because you
Yeah.
like Rachel Hollis says, you can't kick all the balls down the field at the same time. Like pick one ball and get that thing in the goal and all the other balls will come with it.
Right.
So I think that's so valuable. Tell me about your favorite Friday night at home.
Well, we are really heavily into Disney Plus right now. The streaming thing, if we're being honest. My son just turned 6 and my daughter is
You and the
3.
rest of America, just FYI.
Funny. There are a lot of kids in that age group. But who, yeah, we just can't get enough of having Disney Plus there. So it's probably cooking dinner, and then we're big on cuddles. My kids are
Yeah,
cuddlers. So we really enjoy just like making some hot chocolate and watching a movie together on a Friday
I
night.
love it. Yeah, that's so fun. Isn't that the coolest thing that like that's out of all the interviews that I've done, that's what most people like to do is just hang out with their family and watch a movie or watch a show or whatever and just be together and not have that pressure of we got to be doing something, just like
Mhm.
totally relaxing and being
Especially on
together.
a
I love it.
Friday. I mean, I feel like everyone's just, we love to travel together as well. My kids are total travelers. I mean, at 2, my daughter could pull her rolling frozen luggage through an airport, but that's obviously not going to be like our everyday Friday. But we do enjoy kind of those things. But I feel like we've just gotten to the age too where they're a little bit more mobile.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. That's fun. Okay, tell me about the next vacation you're planning, actually.
Oh, speaking of Disney and traveling, we are actually going to try Disneyland for the first time.
Ah, so fun.
Yeah,
Have you guys
we went to
have you guys
World
been to
last.
Disney World?
Yeah, we just did Disney World last year.
Awesome.
It's funny because I was not raised in like. I mean, we did a little Disney. Like I went to Disney World once as a child, but we definitely didn't. We weren't like Disney people. I wouldn't say we're Disney people either, but my kids do really like it. So especially my son.
Oh,
There's
that's
some
so great.
Disneyland that they don't have at Disney World, like the superhero stuff. So we're gonna try it out. I've never been to Disneyland before. myself.
Me
So
neither. So keep me posted. Anytime I've ever been to Disney, it's always been to Disney World.
yeah,
My family is, they lived in Florida. And so that's the one that we always went to. My
makes
grandfather worked for Anheuser-Busch. So we would go to Busch Gardens and we would go to Disney. And so we just kind of grew up doing that. Um, and it's funny, my husband, and I always tell this story, and this is one of my favorite stories about Disney, but my husband hates with a purple passion. He hates amusement parks. He
oh
hates
really?
rides. He hates people, like crowds. He doesn't hate people. He hates crowds.
Right.
Um, and so when we went to Disney, he just like kicked and screamed the whole way pretty much. He was excited to travel or whatever, but he just wasn't really excited about going to do the Disney thing. And
Uh-huh.
I will tell you that the day we went to Magic Kingdom, he had the most fun he's ever had in his whole life. He recorded the light parade,
Oh,
the whole thing, and when we were leaving, he was like, "So, when are we coming back to Disney World?" And I was like, "What? What's happening right
that's,
now?"
that's,
So I always tell people Disney literally is the most magical place on earth. If they could make my husband be so excited to love Disney and come back to Disney, it's magic. It's pure magic.
yeah, I agree because I don't like regular amusement parks either, in particular. But like that's different. Like with the shows and stuff, there's a lot for everyone.
Oh yeah, he loves it so much. And it's funny because now he's like, "Well, I think we could wait a few more years, but I think if I really were to push and be like, 'Hey, we're going,'" he'd be like, "Well, okay."
Yeah, I know. I feel like this is too what we'll do when they're a little bit younger, and then we haven't done too many of the urban. We did go to Chicago last year, and that was amazing with the kids because there's a lot of family stuff. But do some of the parks when they're younger, and then do stuff like New York City when they're a little bit.
Yes, I definitely wanna add that stuff in too. Okay, tell me, what is your best advice to help our listeners live with audacity?
I think it's just learning to hear the voice inside of you, which sounds like a Moana quote since we're talking about Disney, but seriously, I think that so many people have learned to drown out that intuition or sort of voice more than to honor it. And I just think there's so much freedom when you can connect with that you don't even realize you're missing before you have really figured it out. That I think that we all have a lot more in us than we kind of take the time to really realize a lot of times. I mean, I guess I shouldn't generalize. I feel like I have a lot more in me, and it takes a conscious effort to really think: is this what I saw on Instagram, or is this what I'm expected to do? Is this what other people think I should do, or is this really what my spirit feels aligned with? And then,
You can't see me right now, but I'm shaking my head profusely because yes, exactly, like,
yeah,
we get
and I
so
think
held back.
sorry, go ahead.
We No, you're fine. We get so held back by, what society is gonna think about us or,
Yeah,
things that we're expected to do, when we would just tune all that out and put our head down and focus on what we actually want to be doing. It's just I it's it's frustrating to no end to try to get through to people and be like, "But you can do anything that you wanna do." So I'm glad you said that.
yeah, and I think too, like a tangible way to do that is just to start super small. Like order the exotic whatever Thai dinner instead of the burger you usually get that someone thinks
Or
you're
the
gonna get.
chicken.
Like
Yeah.
order a beer on girls' night out if you want to instead of a glass of wine.
Or a
Even if everyone else
Cosmo.
is having wine, right? Just take those little tiny, like literally just dip your toe in it and think like this is a chance where like everyone else is having coffee, but I really would prefer tea. Like and just see like nothing happens. And I
Yeah.
tell people about clothes, like, if the fashion police haven't come for me yet, you should be fine because I wear some zany stuff because I like it. I like a bold look, but that's not for everyone. But just try it and see that, like, the earth still rotated. Nothing was
Yeah.
wrong. And then just, take a slightly bigger step the next time and then a bigger one. And it's kind of the slight edge idea that it feels scary to just like do something crazy, like sell your house and live on a yurt because you think that's what you want to do. But just like do little tiny things and test how you feel and practice listening to like, did I like it? And sometimes you're going to realize you didn't. Like, this beer felt heavy. I would have preferred the wine anyway. And then you just go back. Like, it's fine to test something and decide you don't like it.
I feel like that's so true for most things in our life, but specifically for our intuition. Like a lot of times we get real funny about like, I don't know, is this just a thought I had or is it my intuition or I don't really know because we don't listen to it so often. A lot of times
Mhm.
we don't know when it's actually talking to us. So, like you said, taking those little tiny steps and, ordering the coffee instead of the wine because that's just what you want to drink, you're in the mood for, and then, evaluating that and thinking, well, how did I like that? Did I love it? Cool. I'm going to do that some more. Did I not really like it? And I wish I would have gone with wine and I was just trying to be difficult and want something different than everybody else. I think that's incredibly powerful to understand. Like the more that you do those little things of what you want to do, the more you're going to hear your own voice inside your head and your intuition that says, yes, this is the way. But we're just so good at tuning that thing out, and we got to get better at that.
Yeah, and one way too, I think people don't think about for clothes specifically is that I don't do this myself necessarily, but I think it's a good option. Is that if you were like, oh, I want to be more adventurous, but I don't want to make mistakes. I definitely understand that. You don't want to buy something thinking it's going to be hip and then you don't really love it. You could just treat yourself or ask for your birthday or something for a month or two to one of the many subscription services that exist now and just try one of the many fashion subscription services. And there's some at like all levels and price points. I mean, there's like Rent the
Right.
Rent that's fancy, but there's all kinds now. I mean, there's very casual ones too. And some of them are only like $30 a month. But just try ordering from the subscription, like the rental subscription. Try renting like something that's totally opposite from your normal look and just try it and then you send it back. Like you're not going to keep it and you don't have to feel like you invested in all these different pieces to try that look, but just do a month or 3 months of rental and just be adventurous. Like if you normally wear neutrals, like order a really tropical print dress, or if you normally wear dresses, order some wide leg pants and see if you like them. And then you
Yeah.
can wear them twice and you send them back to the company and it's like no harm, no foul. You just tried it and it's a really low stress way to kind of let yourself have some freedom without feeling the anxiety of like, oh, well, I might like a dress, but I don't want to buy one and then realize I never wore it.
Yeah, I love that idea actually. That's genius. Totally genius and not something I would have probably ever thought to do. So I love that. Um Elizabeth, tell us how people can find more information about you or look you up and find out how to work with you.
Yeah, I have a website and it's getclosetconfidence.com. And then I also am on Instagram under the same name, Get Closet Confidence. And I do have some Pinterest boards of inspiration kind of organized by style type largely. Also, it's Get Closet Confidence. And I don't work on with people too much one on one, but I do have some really cool digital resources coming out this spring that help you do this at your own pace and kind of get some fresh ideas. And I just want everyone to remember that style is a skill. No one comes out of the womb knowing color theory or what looks good on them. People who you know, who you think look good, have just developed this skill, the same as you or I learning how to play basketball. So don't be hard on yourself if no one's ever taught you this skill. It's something that you can do, and you can do it at your own pace. And it's just a great way to invest in yourself feeling better.
I love it. Love it so much. Thank you so much for being here. I sincerely appreciate it. And I think you've given tons of great tips and tricks, and people are just going to really love getting to know you and honestly going in their closet and being like, I want to love the things in here. So, again, thank you so much for being here.
Great. Thank you for having me.
Hey, y'all, I had to jump in here real quick because I need a favor. If you are loving the Live with Audacity podcast, I need you to do me a big solid favor and share it with your friends, share it on social media, and go to the Apple iTunes link and click subscribe, rate it, review it. I need to know your feedback, and I want to keep putting this out for you, so I really need your help to get the message out. Thank you so, so much for your loyalty and your super kind and sweet words. They mean so terribly much to me.